Maybe buying a house is an idea and is something that is just like a black box and you have no idea how to do it and where to start. Knowledge is power, and this video will spring you into action because we're going to talk about each one of the steps that you need to take in order to buy a house, from starting the application process to closing on your home. In this channel, we help you discover the process of buying and selling houses here in Northern Virginia, specifically in Arlington. We talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly about living in the area. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and you hit the notification bell so you're notified every week when we post a new video. By the way, if you're relocating from another state here to Northern Virginia, and maybe you are just relocating inside of Northern Virginia area, don't hesitate, give us a call, send us a text message, send us a telegram, whatever is more convenient for you. If you have questions, we have the answers. The first step is getting a pre-approval from your lender. Not a pre-qualification, it's a pre-approval. The pre-approval is a little bit different. The bank will confirm all your income with documents that you need to provide to support your income, and they run your credit score. So it's a little bit more comprehensive, and usually they have a desktop underwriter software, which is pretty much the criteria that the underwriter uses to approve your loan. So whenever you are actually going into seeing houses, if you fall in love with a house, you can put an offer and you have an advantage over the other people that don't have a pre-approval. And the worst case scenario is if you go and see houses and you're not approved yet, you fall in love with a house, maybe the bank will not approve you for that amount of money. So the best thing to do, first step, before even going to see houses, is get your loan pre-approval. If you want a competitive advantage against other buyers in your same area, text me the word reduction. I'm gonna send you two lists. One is for the houses that just hit the market, and the other one is for houses where the listing agent reduced the price. This is usually a great indication because the seller is already saying that they are reducing the price. So really good option to negotiate down the price of the house. Number two, interview a few agents. This is a really important transaction in your life. You're going to be spending money like you probably have not spent before. It is a big transaction. So making sure that you hire an agent that is knowledgeable and also that it's a really good match with you in terms of communication, in terms of personality, that is going to go a long way, because I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The transaction of buying a house, it's very stressful, even for the most experienced buyers. Another really good important point in the interviewing of the agent is signing a representation agreement. The way that the transaction is structured here in the area is that if an agent is showing you a house, that agent is representing the seller of the property unless there is a representation agreement. When you sign the representation agreement, you're protecting your interest because the fiduciary responsibility of the agent shifts from the seller directly to you. And you do want somebody to represent you in the transaction that is protecting your interests. The third step in the process is actually now starting to go and see houses and define with your realtor what is the criteria that you are going to be selecting the house based upon. I created another video that I'm going to link up here that tells you what are the things that you should be doing and what are the considerations that you should be making in order to go and see specifically the houses that you want to see, so you're not driving around and wasting gas and time. It is really important to know and have a good strategy of what are the houses that you want to see. And also, it is very important that you bounce these ideas off of your agent, because based on the experience of the agent, not only he can point you in the right direction, but also he can tell you what are the things that he sees in the house that are going against what you told him that you needed. Step number 4 is when you found that ideal property that you want to put an offer on, your agent and yourself are going to get together. Your agent is going to propose a strategy to make a strong offer, and he will prepare the offer, you will sign it, and we will send it to the listing agent. And I'm going to make a really quick pause here. I like things in writing, things that I can touch, things that I can print and write on. So if you are interested in actually seeing these steps in your hands, My team and I have prepared a buyer's guide that explained every single step. So text me the word buyer guide. I will make sure that my team and I send you that buyer guide so you have it in your hands. Step number 5 is ratifying the contract. What does that mean? Is that the listing agent and the buyer agent went back and forth communicating with both the seller and the buyer, and you all agreed on the terms of the offer. So once the seller signs and the buyer signs, you have a ratified contract. And after this, it gets really busy with activities and things to do. So step number 6 is you start the formal application for the loan. Step number 7 is we schedule and do a home inspection with a professional home inspector. And that all depends if that was one of the contingencies in the contract. So after the inspection is done, there's a period of negotiation where the findings of the home inspection are negotiated. Repair the roof, repair the floor, things that were either a safety issue or a functioning item, like for example, a refrigerator is not working. But also, it all depends on what was the strategy and what is the contingency in the contract. Step number 8 is reviewing the condo docs or the HOA docs. So if the property that you're purchasing is inside an association, you have a period to review the condo docs. The condo docs are the documents that regulate the association. Also, they do an inspection of the property to make sure that there are no violations. So after the condo docs have been reviewed and that period expired, there is at some point during the transaction, the lender has to do an appraisal of the property. So there are a few possible outcomes on the appraisal. The appraisal came above the price that you're offering. We continue, there's no issues there. If the appraisal comes under the offer that you're putting together, there's a couple of options here. You negotiate the price, so the seller lowers the price, or the seller says, I'm not gonna negotiate the price. We move forward, maybe you can split the difference in the middle, or you get out of the contract and you get your earnest money deposit back. And step number 10 is you're almost a homeowner. We are going to the settlement table. Right before that, I like to do it a couple of days before. We do a final walkthrough on the property to make sure that everything is in great condition, that the things that they promised they were gonna repair, they were repaired. And the day of the settlement, we go to the table, we sit down for about an hour, 45 minutes, and we go through the process of closing. Usually the process takes a little bit longer because of the documents for the loan. And after that is done, here in Virginia, you get the keys of the house and you can move that day. You're a homeowner. So there you have it. The process is simple. It's not easy, but it's very simple. If you have a really good realtor, it's gonna grab you by the hand and will keep you informed every step of the way. So there is clarity, and in clarity, there is power. So give me a call, send me a text message. We'll love to help you with this process. My name is Miguel, and this is your channel, Living in Arlington Today. We'll see you next week.